Guys, welcome to Love, Growth, and Freedom with Adrian Duarte. Hey guys! Woo! Thank you for listening and staying with me for like the past season, and it was amazing to be able to share all these thoughts and ideas, and it's so warming to see that a lot of people has been listening, and a lot of people have been like telling me that it has helped them through this EZQ, and I am grateful for this. Thank you so much. So now we're entering season 2, and one thing you should expect, it's gonna be more heartwarming, heartfelt, and more vulnerable as it is, because this season we're gonna talk about pain and how we're gonna deal with pain and how we should see pain as it is. And yeah, another good news that I wanted to tell you is that I'm coming out to YouTube. So I'm going to have a vlog coming up soon too. It's an application of the things that we talk about here in the podcast, but we're also going to talk about I'm also going to put out the videos of my episodes up in the podcast. So maybe if you're a visual person, you want to watch and see the expressions in my face and how we all talk, and if you really want to feel this friendly vibe, come on, join in, watch us in the YouTube channel Love, Growth, and Freedom. So again, Love, Growth, and Freedom believes in love, acknowledges growth, and encourages freedom. So welcome to you listener. So if you want to keep on listening, just keep me on play. You can listen to me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and whole other streaming websites like Anchor and Breaker and whole lot of other else. So yeah, and I would just encourage you to leave a rate or review if you're on Apple Podcasts, because it's gonna help this podcast grow and reach a whole lot of other people who wants to feel and see what the world has to offer. So please do if you have the time. I would greatly appreciate it. But for now, thank you so much for staying in tune with all these episodes I've had. I've been really pouring myself out on this because this is a passion project, and I've been so in love with just sharing these thoughts out like this. And yeah, on this next season, we are gonna try something new. I decided that I wanted to pour more creativity into it. So I made this paragraph, or I made this written something, or I made this essay that I want to discuss to you, or how I felt and what pain is for me, how I see pain. So welcome to this episode, that how we should see pain. Okay, this episode will start with the essay Broken, Bruised, and Unfaced. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. When things break, growing up, I remember being afraid whenever I break something. I would cower in fear and just try to hide the fact that I broke something. I wouldn't want anyone to know, so I'd try to make it as inconspicuous as possible and let it be. Maybe we fear broken things because we know that once it is broken, it has a chance of never being rebuilt or fixed again. We fear the chances of inevitable demise and change, but one thing we almost and always miss out on is the chances of it getting fixed. Maybe being rebuilt to be a stronger and steadier version of itself. Living our lives the way we want it will surely increase the chances of being broken or even shattered. But let's not forget that we were born to be great. I have been broken a couple of times. The heartache that it brings seemed so unbearable, but here I am now, someone who has cracks in itself to show that I have grown. My mold was broken, so I could be rebuilt to accommodate new things in my life. The bruises heal. What I was reminded of whenever I get hurt, that it will stick with you for a while. The pain that makes life a horror to live, it will ache whenever memories press on it like a tidal wave. It reminds you of how a bruise aches whenever you hit it over and over again, when you still can't accept the fact that it happened. You're hurt and you still keep coming back to the memory, hurting yourself over and over again. Days will go by and these bruises will heal. You would no longer feel the sting, but you would now know the pain you felt, although inevitable, was also fleeting. No one can be unbroken, only unfazed. Now you know the pain is all too real, that we fear the idea of pain more than pain itself. We are now informed of the fact that in life we will face trials and tribulations that would make us see pain eye to eye. You've made it this far. You've embraced the heartaches and you've grown to fit all the other things that pain has brought you. The cycle will begin again in unimaginable ways. Broken, bruised, but always unfazed. So yeah, that was like one of a fun piece for me to write because I see pain as an inevitable part of life that we get to understand and feel. Pain is something that can be beautiful at a certain point, but pain was is also something so dangerous and so destructive and so unimaginable in so many ways. I am a no, I am a coward sometimes because I don't want to feel the pain, not even physically, not even mentally or emotionally. I try to hide myself from getting hurt. Like I really do. I think everybody does that. But on my end, I try to keep it nonchalant at a certain point so that I won't be so vulnerable. But I'm learning. I'm trying to like grasp, like letting the feelings go. It's just like, for example, when you feel the pain or any emotions, imagine it as a water flowing down on you, like rain or a waterfall that flows down on you. It flows in massive amounts, almost every freaking time, and then you would feel it along your body, and then you're just gonna be like, yes, I feel it. And then when you're done feeling it, it leaves your body and it makes you feel like you're wanting more, or makes you feel like you can't live without the water flowing into you. But that's how we should deal with emotions. That's how we should view the emotions. Fall on you like a tidal wave or like a waterfall, and then it just goes away. It doesn't stay with you. Your feelings don't define your whole life, but you get to see the world in a better light sometimes when you allow your feelings to just like flow over you. So yeah, the thoughts that came about in this piece is that, why are we afraid of brokenness, like, why are we afraid to be broken? Because I think, yeah, for a fact that we've always had the idea that being broken was bad, and being broken had so many connotations or schema that being broken is just not wanted in this society. But maybe being broken as a face or a part of our life is beautiful because we get to see the cracks that we have in ourselves, and then we get to fill these cracks on our own time, on our own pace. So that's the beauty of getting hurt. That's the beauty of understanding the pain that we feel inside ourselves. Another question that bothered me, or another question that came into my mind, was, do we completely heal? I believe that we all completely heal, but for a fact that, I'll give this analogy. When we heal, for example, your heart, like, would still be the heart that's still the person. For example, if you're heartbroken, that heart that you had would still be the same heart that loved that person, and that person broke it, and it's still the same person that you loved and hurt you. But the thing here is, even when you're broken, you've got cracks. Even when that person's out of your life, you're the one who fills the cracks in it, right? And he's still a part of it. So I think we completely heal from the pain that it was been caused, but we don't really like forget whatever that is that you have with other people, because other people become part of you. Other people, they're, even though if they're not your significant other, even though if they're just friends, or they're your friends, no, they're not just friends. Like, friends are amazing, so they're not just, but you know what I mean. Like, every person in your life has an impact on you, and you wouldn't know it until you really reach deep down. um are we allowed to feel the pain of the past? Yeah, we are, because a lot of these past things, although maybe in the past, even if it's in the long run, some of them still actually can kind of sting when you think about it, because, well, sometimes as human beings, we'd want to be that, we'd want to have that. It's natural for us to want the things for ourselves and be selfish about, hey, I want this feeling for me, I want this is like, I want this for me, I want to be like this person and whatever. So there's that feeling of entitlement if we do that. But yes, we're allowed to feel the pain of the past because, well, yeah. And I forgot to answer that, do we completely heal? Yeah, we do. But, like, yes, we still heal from the parts of ourselves that was broken, not entirely rebuild or like break down our whole sense of identity and self. And lastly is, you have to keep going. Being unfazed means you're not afraid of getting hurt. Like, this, the courage that you get to have to feel again is amazing. So that's one thing. You have to feel like unfazed. You have to know that whenever these feelings flow from you, you're not gonna die. You're not gonna be swallowed by the ground, but you are gonna keep on going. Life will go on for you even when you're hurt. So processing the pain and knowing how our pain works, it's something that we should do. So the next thing we're going to be discussing is about what are the things that we should learn about pain. Okay, so pain is painful. Again, suffering. It reminds you, when you think about the word pain, it reminds you of suffering. It reminds you of physical pain, injuries, heartaches, infidelity, a whole lot of other sense. But when you just say pain, you think of things that hurt you. You think of things that causes you sadness, brokenness, and loneliness sometimes. And it's okay because sometimes we don't want to deal with these things as well. So it hurts, it's loneliness, it's a whole lot of things. Pain is negative as we speak of it. And sometimes pain is also transmuted from emotional and physical pain. So, sometimes if you're heartbroken, you would feel you don't want to eat. And emotional heartaches translate into physical pain when sometimes your heart just feels heavy and you just don't want to get up. That's how it transmutes. It takes away your energy and drive to actually live for yourself and survive as of the moment. And it's normal. Okay? And you can write it out, you can feel it out, and like just let it be because it's normal. Whatever you feel is valid. Whatever everybody else's feelings about things are valid. So you have to at least recognize and allow yourself to manage this by feeling it. And what else do we know about pain? It goes away after some time. We know that when we keep doing the things we do now and forget the things that hurt us, or actually just, learn to live with the pain that we know today, makes it easier for us to live free from the pain. It goes after. It goes away after. It's not always going to be there. It's just not gonna last forever. That's one thing that we have to know. And even if it will, it becomes manageable for you. It becomes something that, okay, pain. Like, that's the good kind of pain. That's the good pain that reminds you of beautiful memories with this person, beautiful memories with the friends that you've had in the past, and beautiful memories of your life who you can't have back now again. So yeah. How is physical pain different from emotional pain? Well, physical pain, again, is easier to deal with because it's more definite when you discuss about physical pain, like injuries. Oh, it's gonna heal in 2 to 3 weeks, and if you're wounded, it's gonna heal 3 to 5 days. Unlike emotional pain, there is a certain consciousness that we have to tap into when we deal with emotional pain. It's not just like letting pain flow in a sense where, okay, it hurts, masakit. That's painful, and I'm gonna deal with it. But there's a conscious effort where you have to really like look into the pain and notice where it comes from and like figure out how to deal with that. It's just when you let it flow that it means more work for you because emotionally you have to think of where this pain comes from. So why do we have to talk about pain? Because it is inevitable, a part of life. From pain, there's certain growth we can't see but could feel. That's one thing. I think a lot of people just associate pain being negative. I guess if you look at it, and I'm not being toxic here by speaking of positive into pain, but there is something about pain that makes you want to learn things in life and like helps you think of things to defend you or protect you in these kinds of certain situations. Again, your brain thinks, and your psychologically your brain thinks about something or ways to protect you when this comes up again, like the walls that we build. That's how it is. It's so pain allows you to build out these walls, and with conscience or with constant consciousness or awareness of what you're doing, you can build healthy walls around your heart or around your mental and emotional state. The only way to get, and one thing about pain is the only way to get over it is through it. I keep telling this to a lot of people who's been talking to me about their heartaches, talking to me about things that doesn't go their way. The only thing that we could do about these negative emotions that we feel, especially pain, is to look at it straight in the eye and just like know that it's pain and figure out how to deal with it consciously. Because if you don't, it's just gonna be difficult. It's gonna be somehow hidden in your subconscious. It's gonna be something that pops up at the end of the day, and it brings you a lot of toxicity in your life if you don't really face it. So I'm going to tell you about the things we can face pain. Know its realities. Know how pain is inevitable. Know that it vanishes. Know that it's part of life and it accompanies growth and realization. Pain allows you to grow. Okay, it's a picture this. You know that fire is a destructive force. And sometimes a fire destroying whatever it is in its path can still allow growth to happen, like forests that burns up and then new life springs or sprung from it. The warmth of its fire, the warmth of the sun brings light and life to others. It's that concept that pain, although intense and immense most of the time, gives you a better perspective of who you are and a sense of self at the end of the day. So I don't think it's something that we should really fear greatly, but have that degree of fear. Like, I don't want to get hurt, so I'm gonna be rational about this. So there's a certain degree to that where we could be, closed up on a lot of things. Know that we are not alone and that people suffer in silence every day. A lot of people face pain on their own sometimes. And if you've got a good support system, I'm happy for you. And if you need one, I'm here. Like, message me up in Eduard Lim Instagram. You could search Love, Growth, and Freedom on Facebook. You can send out whatever there and I could help you out, go through this together. If you need someone to talk to, if you need someone, I'm there. If you don't have that support system, but if you do, I'm happy for you. And I urge you to look for a support system. Open up to the people you trust immensely and greatly. And again, the third one would be name the emotions. Find the root of the thing that causes pain and let it flow. A lot of the things that we forget about pain is that it is caused by something. And the more we don't acknowledge what caused it, the more we forget about it, and the more it reemerges at the part of our lives where we don't want to deal with it anymore. So, yeah. So let the pain flow. I'm gonna give you like 3 tips to work on it on your own, because work on it internally with yourself if you want to do it on your own. And if you don't want, I'm here again. Send me a message. Okay, so first one is let the pain flow. It may be overwhelming, but letting the pain flow as soon as you start feeling it will jumpstart the process of your healing. Know that pain is temporary and it demands to be felt. Shout out to The Fault in Our Stars. Hazel Grace Lancaster, you are amazing. Know the realities of pain, gain and remind yourself it's completely normal. Okay, remind yourself that pain is part of life. There is inevitability in that, and we will always get hurt. I guess you have to take into comfort that if you want to risk something, if you want to jump and do something risky with your life, like fall in love or do something that you've always wanted to do on your own, go to a cinema alone, perform in front of a lot of people. Yeah, there's pain in that. If you get rejected, if people didn't like it, there is. But like, when you're on that other side thinking of what you're fearing and a lot of things and what the pain that you're running away from, it's nothing compared to the joy that you would feel if it works out your way, and it's okay. So let the pain flow. Let these pain flow from your body, from where it aches down to wherever you want it to go. Channel your energy to the things that make you live or feel alive. Yes, it will jumpstart your healing. Letting the pain flow, just facing it eye to eye. Pinpoint, name the emotion. Next would be tip number 2, process the pain. Try to understand why it hurts you, where it hurts, and why it hurts you. Because it gives you this idea to deal with it rationally, logically. Because when for example, I would tell or communicate myself to my friends, I'd tell them, hey, I feel upset that you actually kind of blew me off on a whole lot of things like this. It was painful for me, or it was hurtful that you did that. If you were able to process that on your own first, you're able to communicate that to people without hurting their feelings as well. So try to understand where it hurts. You can think about why this hurts you. Why, for example, if your friend blew you off, why did it hurt you? Well, it hurt me because I felt rejected. I felt like they didn't want my presence on this one, or they didn't really have the time for me. And then whenever you think about that, you get to process it with yourself. And when you communicate it to other people, it doesn't come off as emotional anymore or unreasonable, but it comes off as, well, you thought about it, you worked on it on your own internally, and you acknowledge that maybe it's not just about you, or they have been dealing about other stuff. So when you ask out it, when you communicate it to your friend, it becomes easier because it's not filled with anger anymore or pain that it was caused. You were able to at least diminish parts of the pain because you understood why it hurts and where it hurts. Stay present with yourself and be honest to yourself and how you feel. Like, figure it out, work on it on your own, process it, and when you're done, again, open up to most of your friends. Trust me, they'll help and not judge. I have been in a whole lot of situations where I would always be afraid of telling my friends, or I would actually like wait a certain day or wait another hour not to tell them first because I'd be afraid of what they'd think. But I've been changing that. I've been telling them like upfront things and like, hey, this is what I feel. I really want to do this, and probably they wouldn't be having the same reactions you want them to have or expecting to have, but they'll support you, and they'll tell you honestly what they think about it, and let you know how they want to see it on that certain level and how they see it. Work on yourself little by little. Think of all the dreams and goals you have for yourself. Try the things you've always wanted to try. So, like on this end, when you're actually done processing the pain, when you've been hurt, when you've already let the pain flow, process the pain, communicated yourself to other people, makes it lighter for you, then you work on yourself little by little. That's the third step on this one. Think of all the things that you want to have for yourself, things that you've always wanted to try. Seek for growth and knowledge about yourself. This is the time where you can discover, okay, this hurts me. What can I do to alleviate this? What makes me happy? Because it channels, or it changes your focus to the things that you want for yourself rather than just like the things that hurt you as of the moment. So you get to redirect this energy of pain to the things that you love, to the things that make you grow. Take the time and energy to figure out how much love you have and how much you have to offer the world. Feel alive for yourself. Because, like, when we get broken immensely from a breakup or a friendship breakup, or like a loss of our job, our dream job, our dreams being shattered, there's a lot of pain that comes with it. And maybe little by little, doing again the things that you love and things that make you feel alive for yourself is the one thing that could help heal you up again and give you fresh perspective and inspire you to chase the dreams and chase the people, or be there for the people that you want to be there for. So, yes, okay, I am an advocate of this because I've also gone through like my own share of heartaches, and the biggest and most recent one was having my heart broken by my ex, and like he cheated. And that's a topic for a next podcast, which is next week, the two faces of cheaters. But two sides of being a cheater, or whatever, it's something like that. But I'll tell you into detail how it felt for me and how things were and how I was able to forgive on that end. But yeah, I felt that pain. I managed to get over that pain, that I was replaced, I was whatever, and it was a whole lot of things. But yeah, I was able to process that pain. I was able to, like, the process I went through was I just let it flow. I actually just like sat down, cried through a window, and be like, oh my god, it hurts. Like, it was just painful. It was terrible, I swear. The pain that I felt was so debilitating that I couldn't even move, and I was just like crying uncontrollably. And then I processed it. I went out, I told my friends how I felt about it, and constantly work on it, what I thought about this person, what I thought about what happened, and be like, oh, I think this happened because of this, because of that. And they helped me throughout the way to actually say, oh, it's not completely your fault, but it's not completely his. So there were ways that you actually realize the truth and the realities that you were in, and that was like free from biased emotions. And lastly, I was like working on myself little by little. I performed in places, I wrote poems, I went out, I found a new job, I studied again, I there's a lot of things. And then I read books. I noted how I felt. I did journaling. I met up with people, went on dates, understood myself in dates, figured out which guys I want to go out with and which friends I want to hang out with, learn and make new friends, go drink out. There's a whole lot of things that actually made me feel more alive than ever. I also went out on mall dates on my own. I would drink wine on my own, even dine with myself in pretty restaurants on my own because I just wanted to be with my own thoughts. I also have coffees. So there's like a whole array of things that you could do. And I don't want you to be selfish. It's just I just want you to work on yourself first before you deal with all of this again. And if you're in pain, if you're suffering through a whole lot of other stuff, know that it's fleeting. Know that pain isn't forever and you're going to grow from it. So yeah, and my ending points would be pain can be transformed into something beautiful. Let the cracks be filled with the things that allow you to grow and feel. Second, we don't fear pain, just the idea that it might hurt way more than we expected. A better example is when we get injections or when we get our tooth or teeth removed, extracted. We're afraid of the initial injection, but when it's all there, you don't feel a thing afterwards anymore. Pain and suffering are part of everyone's lives, and we have to know that we are not alone in dealing with this. As pain is inevitable, so is healing. So I'd like to end on that note. Pain is also inevitable, but is healing. But also is healing. Know that healing will come for you on your own timeline, own pace, and that people are going to be here to support you if you allow them. So deal with this first on your own and work it out with the other friends. If you need really, like, you really need the help now, you just do it. And trust me, you would be so amazed by how much you can offer the world and how much you have love, or how much love you have for yourself and for the world. So again, thank you for listening to Love, Growth, and Freedom. Give me a follow on Apple Podcasts, a subscribe on my YouTube channel, and a follow on Spotify, Anchor, and Google Podcasts, and all other streaming websites if you want to listen and be updated with my latest episodes. So see you next week when we talk about cheating, the two sides of a cheater. Okay, trust me, it's gonna be tea spilling. Love y'all. Bye, lovies.